Souq Waqif is a marketplace in Doha in the state of Qatar. The souk sells traditional garments, spices, handicrafts, and souvenirs. It is also home to restaurants and Shisha lounges. The original building dates back to the late 19th to early 20th centuries in a traditional Qatari architectural style. Souq Waqif is one of the oldest markets in Qatar. According to the historians, it was established about 100 years ago. There are also beliefs that the market is older than 2 centuries. For centuries, this location has been a souk for Bedouin nomads who have historically inhabited the Arabian and Syrian deserts to take the wool and animals to trade for daily necessities. With time passed, the souk started to run down and has almost get to the point of being demolished. Luckily, in 2004, it was decided to preserve this historical site, so the entire market area has been renovated and restored according to the traditional Qatari architectural techniques. It's probably the only traditional souk left in the Gulf. At the entrance of Souq Waqif, you will be welcomed by swarms of pigeons picking up grains and flying around. Feed the pigeons and take beautiful photos of flying pigeons. This little plaza outside the souk is so charming with all the pigeons that hung around here. I know I had to be back to photograph it. Bird showing gratitude to God by feeding his creations. Pigeons are a common sight in Qatar, and there are apparently 5 different species of the birds here. Flocks of them can be seen gathering in certain hotspots around the country, including on the Corniche and outside popular eat areas. Here are some ideas to inspire you to bring back some interesting memories from your trip. Buy souvenirs. You have a lot to choose from and it's up to you what you like. You can buy it for cheap and there are paintings when you choose, and there's the humble portrait of the King of Qatar. If you don't have a choice, go around the canal outside like what I do. Nowadays, going to malls for shopping is a popular pastime in Doha, where a luxurious mall or high-end designer store is always close at hand. But if you're after something with a more Arabian experience and authentic feel, as well as a great night out, Souq Waqif is the place to be. The Golden Thumb Monument, known as Lepus, located at the heart of Souq Waqif, is one of the most interesting art installations in the area. The art center is decorated with multicolored lamps hanging from the ceilings, hand-painted tiles and beautiful woodwork, making this place unique and reflecting Islamic architecture. The center is home to Qatari and expatriate artists who create their art pieces in front of their visitors. The art center exhibits paintings drawn by local artists and expats. Whenever you visit, you can see several artists' works in their art. It is such a beautiful sight to see. You can also buy the images from here. He is Eduardo Gabres, Filipino and one of the famous portrait artists here in Souq Waqif Doha, and his work is the only one that won the international competition, and you can get him to do something like this for a cheap price. I can tell you are one of those who like this kind of work. Let me do it and you will have a discount if you draw too. So we must support our countrymen. I've reached the point of my video. Maybe you can subscribe to my little channel and hit the bell button to notify me when I have new videos to upload. It was a pleasure to be with you all today, thank you. Thank you all for your patience, I wish you all a wonderful day. Goodbye. It is an honor to be among such great individuals and to be able to show my vision to all of you. Thank you for supporting my little YouTube channel and I invite you to always watch my next uploaded video. Shout out sa atin mga kaibigan na walang sawang sumusuporta. Shout out Love Channel, shout out One Day, shout out Lori DM Magalpak, shout out Course Burst Ano, shout out Jen Crusade, shout out LUMINADA TV, shout out Nay Daisy Tamayo, shout out MS Viadis, shout out Juliet Burst Ano, shout out Mommy Faye, shout out Samar Girl, shout out Lovely Cute, shout out Mary OFW Qatar, shout out Lucia Vitun, shout out Via Hurst, shout out Yetel Podgeray, shout out Angie De Vera, shout out Tita Bing, shout out Delia Pagulayan, shout out Angel OFW, shout out Nerkanet, shout out Dodsky 24 na, shout out Jeanette Galvan, shout out Cindy Sledger, shout out Emma Burst Ano, shout out Alex B. Shout out Booze Beam Channel, shout out Zera Image, shout out Olive Mix Vlog, shout out Maria Ligaya, shout out Michelle Sole, shout out Amelito, shout out Zere, shout out Twin Bisong, shout out Mama Hinya, shout out Mama Hania TV, shout out Mary M. Ligad, shout out Mama Sinia, shout out Razel Williams, at shout out po Miss Med Delphine, shout out Miss Jean Ramirez. Shout out po Miss Jai Gonyo, shout out po Miss Annalisa Official, shout out po Miss Mercedes Salvador, shout out Nash Barrita, shout out po Froy Love AP. Shout out din po Christine Gregorio, shout out po Miss Virginia Tabanaw, shout out po Miss Lorna Pagulayan, at shout out po Ma'am Glenda De La Cruz, shout out din po kay Nati Shares, shout out din po Chong Ryan Vlog, shout out din po kay Miss Ame Amaya, shout out din po kay Shelzy Mix Vlog, shout out din po kay Camaro TV, shout out din po kay Mama Senia, shout out din po kay Sir AVM Tour Vlogs, shout out din po kay Clarice Alub, shout out din po kay Chitran Vlog. Shout out din po pala kay Junior Siklot, shout out Boyet Travel Vlog, sa mga Daiko Panabati si Next Vlog, salamat hanggang sa muli.